Yeah. How do you feel when you see like a fat person that has low status having a pretty okay girlfriend?
Um, I do have to say I will immediately think of, well, um, is this a charity thing kind of thing? I'm not gonna
Really?
lie. That I might actually think that, but like I'm open to the idea that someone can just find love with while being fat. I'm not saying it's impossible. It's just like a very uncommon thing. I might not like. I might actually think that, like.
Yeah. So pity, like you would say it's pity?
Yeah, maybe it's pity, maybe it's genuine, but my mind wouldn't immediately jump to, oh, it's genuine, right? Like
Yeah.
I won't lie
You're
with that.
like the complete, yeah, you're like the most anti black pill person ever then probably.
Why?
Right?
How is that the case?
I
I
mean,
don't
like
know.
you're like the exact opposite of the black pill. You're like you're like basically completely saying that everything's in your control and that you can fix your situation in a pretty easy manner, and at the same time you are not seeing women as um yeah, you're basically seeing, when you see an example that is shaking your belief system, then you're basically not going to not making the woman, blaming the woman for it, but you're basically, you're not suspecting the woman for that she's like has some ulterior bad motives, but you're actually suspecting her to have altruistic good motives to support
But,
someone.
well, to be fair, like it could be like when I say charity case, I don't mean it's like oh, it's a good thing, right? I'm not actually meaning it in a, maybe maybe the woman might think it's a good thing.
Hmm.
I like, so for the sake of this conversation, I'm assuming it is like a charity thing, or like it's not a genuine relationship, right? Just for
Hmm.
the sake of it. Like I said, it is possible. I will suspect it. Um, so, given that it is not the case that it's a genuine relationship, I think the woman is one doing a disservice to herself, maybe, but definitely doing a disservice to the man in that given scenario. So it's not the case. I think, like, oh, she is. A really good person for dating like
Hmm.
a fat guy. Like I
Okay.
don't consider that a good thing
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's like sometimes it's a sometimes I can think of multiple ways it's like not genuine that is harmful. Like let's say it's easier, right?
what
Oh, I
what's
have the relationship under control. The man is basically a slave to me or whatever.
hmm.
Like I am the person who's bringing the value. They have to work very hard to maintain this relationship, and I can control the relationship as I wish.
Hmm.
Like that might be
Hmm.
another. That might be one. The other is a kind of insulting thing where it's like, um, oh, I am so altruistic. I'm self-sacrificing in a way that I'm dating someone much below my value, right? And it's very demeaning in the sense that it's actually looking down on the man. It's not actually putting any value to the man, whoever is in that relationship. It's the woman isn't having anything that is positive coming from it other than her satisfaction over feeling so altruistic, but there isn't an actual value that's coming out of the relationship. So in that sense, I don't think it's a positive thing if it's not genuine,
Hmm.
right? It might be a charity case in the quote unquote like it's almost like a savior complex. That's what I mean by charity case. It might be like a, oh, I'm so much better than everyone kind of attitude.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
but I don't know. So I like this was only assuming that was the
Yeah,
case,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
I don't.
But it's still okay. Now I still found some black pilledness in you, because I think it's really interesting that there is not a third option is not possible, that um he has like certain character, like I see women really a little bit differently. Like the way I see women, I feel like a lot of the black pill space is like projecting men's sexuality on women's sexuality. So, and I think that men's sexuality is really different than women's sexuality. We're talking about heterosexual sexuality, like right now. And we're making huge generalizations. So I'm just
yeah, I'm taking it for granted.
Yeah. So my experience has been that men are way more visually oriented, and if you look at women, it's way more it's way more about everything around sex rather than sex itself. So when you look at, for example, pornography for women, like a lot of it is books, which is like for men would be like pretty hard to get off on books, you know. But for women, it's that's just like a general trend that you can observe. And also in my personal experience, like I don't think any of my girlfriend, when they first saw me, they thought, "Oh my god, he's so handsome. He's so." I'm not that tall. I'm pretty short. I'm bald, you know, like I'm not ugly,
well,
but I mean,
you do have a nice baldness, though. Like you have a good head shape.
Thanks, I heard that many times, but still, like I mean, there's lots of in many of my girlfriends have had the possibility to date guys that were like really tall, jacked, you know, like good physique and handsome, but they chose me over them, and so and I've seen that so many times. Like my cousins were like, my older cousins are pretty good with women, I would say, like way better than me, and I never saw them like getting the girls with their looks. Like it was always like being a good talker, being a good communicator, like rizzing them, like having good charisma, you know, like so when I'm seeing like a fat guy or a really ugly short guy having a really beautiful girlfriend, I'm like, motherfucker, what are you doing? Like something must be, like you must have something else, like something that must be going good for you. Like either you're like a really charismatic guy, you make her laugh all the time, she has like so much fun with you, and or you're a really intelligent dude, or you're a gangster who's like really has doesn't give a fuck about life, you know, which can also be attractive to some girls that have some trauma in life or some socialization. So I never think like I basically never think that it's a charity case. Like I know that exists. I know that these types of relationship exist, definitely. I've seen it.
Well, like, I should say, I'm not considering like someone, let's say, who is dating, like, let's say a woman who is really high status dating average to low status man. I don't think that's a charity case. But like, if it is like, there's a distinction, I think, between, oh, this guy isn't particularly attractive, but he can get a date, versus, okay, this guy, I don't ever expect him to get a date, but he's got a really hot girlfriend. You know, that I think there is like a mountain of difference there, where I only would attribute a charity case to the latter, not the former. Like I don't think, like, if someone is average looking, more maybe like below average in some regard. I'm not saying you, right? But you were giving the example from yourself perspective, right?
Yeah.
I don't think given I don't know how you used to look. I don't think you look bad right now. But like if you used to look poor, but like you used to look bad, it doesn't necessarily mean any girlfriend you're going to get is not going to be genuine. But it's also like imagine someone like do you know Boogie 2988 or whatever?
Yeah,
YouTuber? Imagine someone as fat as him, right?
Yeah.
You won't expect that kind of fat person to get a date so easily. I'm not that fat, by the way.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, but like,
good to know. Like you're not but because I think that's a big distinction. Like I think the moment where the fatness becomes like a handicap in life, I think that's like that's another level of
yeah,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, uh, I'm more. I would say I am in the obese category, but like
Mm-hmm.
in the starting position of that
Mm-hmm.
category, I would
Yeah,
say.
yeah. You should be careful,
Um,
man. It's like
yeah,
it
yeah,
is an addiction, bro. It isn't like being fat is an addiction like every other addiction. I don't see any difference to
right.
any other addiction. I have an addictive personality. Like I get addicted very fast to things, and I also have my. I always have to watch my weight because I constantly overeat, and I really like just to stay like this. And I'm still like I have a belly and some fat in my face. Like I'm by no means at the good body fat percentage, but I think that yeah, it is a deeper issue, and maybe if we
Yeah,
tackle it,
I agree with the. I also probably have a addictive
yeah,
personality. I try to abstain from every new thing. Like I don't even
yeah,
watch short form content. You don't like this stuff like
yeah,
TikTok or whatever because I know like if I do get into it, I'll
yeah.
just be scrolling my days off, and I don't want that.